A young woman shifts her weight between her feet as though swaying her hips to an imaginary beat. She rubs her forehead, her face tight with concern. Her eyes roll up to meet yours, their great black pupils, greater and blacker than seem natural, expanding further as they take you in. She smiles, and the worry melts from her face.
Hey, it's you! Well, 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 we meet again. They told me you'd mosey your way down here eventually. Well, hello there, mister. What was your name again? I'm Losa.
She wipes a grubby hand on her tunic and holds it out for you to shake.
Probably. I'm a musician, singer, lute player, jester, mystic, daughter, friend, lover, and now, godwoken. You're one too, right? Same here. It's so nice. Not what I was expecting, considering, well, you know about my, situation, right? Right. Well, I'm a host. Always have been, probably always will be. I'm never alone in my head. Spirits visit, wanderers, sprites, demons, ghouls, disembodied mystics. You name it, I've chatted with it behind my own two eyes. I'm only hosting one right now, though, and it's a real piece of work. Malady said I should have met one of the gods when I had my vision in the Hall of Echoes, but I didn't. I met it. I know, it's really special. I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna get it the hell out of my head and make it sorry it ever came knocking. What's your deal? Harder than it ought to be, isn't it? You know, I never was much of a solo artist. Want to find out what comes next, together? Well, that was easier than I thought, and I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.
You made it out. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure you had it in you, but I'm glad you did. Hero of the Seekers, eh?
An amused expression crinkles the crow's feet at Iffin's greying temples. His face looks a lot older than the bright green eyes gazing out.
Nice to meet another so-called godwoken. Says you.
He casts a long glance up and down your bedraggled form.
Reckon I look about as godwoken as you do.
He looks deep into your eyes and sees something.
Cute. I'm gonna hunt down my old pack leader and find some answers. The lone wolves have been tasked with killing godwoken. I'm godwoken, and a lone wolf. That's a problem. Say, on the way there I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. Want to team up?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. Good folks to have around in a crisis.
He purses his lips, then grins and nods.
Right you are. Lead the way.
The burly dwarf is distracted by his own facial hair. He thrusts 2 fingers into it repeatedly until he extracts the final prize, an errant fly. He flicks it into the air and it buzzes off, just in time for him to notice your presence.
2 heads are better than 1, Papa used to say, and he had 3, so he'd know, eh? You're looking for a travelling partner? Well, just so happens my beard's available, as long as the rest of me comes too. How do, partner? Though I reckon I should fill you in on a few things. I've got a few things to take care of for Lohar, for starters. Not the most upstanding fellow, but it's the best chance I have of figuring what Her Royal Highness Imperial Faithful Gracious Majesty the Honourable and Excellent Queen Justinia might be up to.
He turns his head and spits.
Too bad she ain't so imperial, faithful, gracious, honourable, or excellent. Well, that's that sorted. Onward then. I've got to get out of here, and soon. And I suppose you do too. Ah well, my best mate's son is undead. Nothing to be ashamed of. Now, onward!
My. Look what the ship's cat dragged in. You were on that luckless lot of timber that met with one tentacle too many, weren't you? Yes, I remember licking your arm. Oh, but you've come a long way, just as I have. Rather boring, sometimes, to travel by oneself. We could see where the road takes us together, if you like. In that case, I'm delighted as well. By the by, now that you've agreed for me to join you, here's my one condition. I'm looking for an old acquaintance, see, with whom I've a score to settle. A score to settle in skin. Hunting him is proving to be like... looking with a needle through a haystack. Next in the long line of clues is a lone wolf, and... boy, how you'll make him howl. No matter what lies ahead, we will hunt him down. That is my sole condition. Until the next clue, of course.
You approach the figure and find yourself face to face with an undead skull. Its bone is intricately designed, and a jewel sits on its forehead.
Oh, please don't stare. It's tiresome. Yes, you have never seen such a remarkably fine creature in all your short, wretched days. I'm sure you have many fascinating questions. Yes, and had my mask not been stolen, you would still not see me. I could be an elf, a dwarf, a tall dwarf? Human! That's the term. Alas, I am naught but bone until I can find a suitable corpse and a device that allows me to remove its face and craft a mask. But you're quite right. I am not of your kind. I am an eternal. My people are glorious, prehistoric, and... missing. Thankfully, there are answers to be found. I simply need to get to Reaper's Coast, to return to the Black Pit's excavation site. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. Is that so? Perhaps we could find an arrangement that benefits us both. I need to travel to the Black Pit's oil field, near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Very well. Let's be off.
Look who we have here. The slave, no less. I wouldn't have bet tuppence on your survival. Yet here you are. It is quite a tale, I assure you. And the upshot of it all is that I've accomplished a goal on this horrid isle that came quite unforeseen. But of course, first you must know that I'm a prince, the Red Prince. I'll give you a moment to let that sink in. You have no doubt heard the tales of certain setbacks that befell me. Setbacks that forced me to leave the ancient empire, my empire. It was then, forced as I was to wander the wilds, that a voice first began to reach me in my dreams. But the voice spoke from too great a distance, too faintly to be understood. Yet I had to understand. Somehow I knew this to be of vital importance. I searched this island for a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind that can travel the dream world at will, as if it were another realm just as real as our own. And so I met with Bahara in the sanctuary of Amadia. We raced through dream wastes, beset by nightmares, until we reached the voice. It turns out it was that of Brahmos the Wanderer, the greatest and most elusive dreamer of them all. He desires that I should meet him, somewhere on Reaper's Coast. And meet him I shall. That is where my journey takes me next. Join you? Not the worst idea in the world, I suppose. Tell you what, promise me we'll go out of our way to find Brahmos, and I'll join you. I'll fight by your side. Jolly good. Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.